It's a good morning in the north. Let me tell you, the last 48 hours, not fun. We had some pretty much record heat. Um, even got into 50 degrees Celsius. Um, the average last couple days, I think, is like 47. Thankfully, right now we're into 27 today. I think that's the peak. And right now we're down to 22. My house is still hot though. I can't get that heat out of my house. My house is still running around 84.7 um, Fahrenheit, and I set my tanks in Fahrenheit, so that's how I know. All my heaters are off, and that one up there says 84.7. So it's the hot air on the ceiling, and it's still up there. I got to get it out of the house. I'm trying. I got fans going, but anyway. I've had to constantly, for the last 2 days, basically wake up every 2 hours and nurse my tanks down from, 87 degrees, 88 degrees at times. And when a discus tank like mine, that's stocked like mine, starts getting up there, like, it's not just the tank temperature. You see, like when the ambient air in the room is muggy, it sucks the oxygen right out of your aquariums. At least that's what I think I'm observing. I didn't do any oxygen O2 testing or anything to confirm that, but that's what happens. And so you'll start to see your fish lay down if you're not careful because they're oxygen deprived. But I've learned this in past years, so yeah. My rule of thumb now is keep it at 85, and once I got past 86, I would take extreme measures if I had to, which was I never add water from the tap to the system, but I have been doing it the last 2 days. 10% really cold water changes just to bring it down, and then I add the water through the sump so that it blends and mixes in slowly and doesn't shock the fish. What a nightmare. But anyway, someone's probably going to say, Sean, why don't you install a cooling system? The answer is, on average in my city, I get maybe 10 to 12 of these hot and yeah, these hot days per year. So I just burn through 2 of those. It's not worth an expensive setup to cool myself down for a few days, Like my air conditioner blew, but I'm not going to go out and spend $500 to buy a new air conditioner because I've got other things that I want to spend my money on. So that's the other side of it too. But because I'm a guy on a budget like a lot of the rest of us. I mean, not everyone in the world has to worry about counting their pennies, but I most certainly do, and I'm pretty good at it. I pull off a lot of shit. Let me tell you, if you saw what I had to work with on a monthly basis, and how well I actually live despite it. I have nice things. I have a nice place, and I get everything I want. I don't let anything stop me. I just found you just have to diversify. I get things done differently now, but and then sometimes things fall on your lap. Like this experience has been awesome for me. I've enjoyed the discus. I'm enjoying the YouTube. In fact, I'm disabling monetization. I don't even want it anymore because it's commercials, and the only person who's really winning is YouTube. And they throw peanuts at you, and it's pathetic. And honestly, if you don't have like over 100,000 subs and you're not getting like 100,000 views on a video, YouTube's a joke. You're making nothing. It's almost a waste of time if money was your motivator. So I'm just turning that crap off because it really is a joke. And I like the way that my viewers support me otherwise. I don't have many viewers that actually support me in any physical way. Certainly not in any monetary way. But when I started this hobby, a lot of the people who know me, who I thought would at least be, verbally supportive and a little bit encouraging, were anything but. It was almost like, no, you can't do that, and they should have known better to just underestimate me like that. It's based on my wallet size is really where it was all coming from. I basically was told I wouldn't be able to afford to keep them alive, even if I had the skills. Well, that meant I wouldn't have been able to do any of this either. The same people told me I wouldn't be able to have a Sphinx, a cat, because they're thousands of dollars. The list goes on. But anyhow, and then there's people who I've met here on YouTube and through this hobby who definitely support me. You know what I mean? Like with encouragement, and I think that's absolutely amazing. I think that might be the best part of this whole YouTube thing, and I thank you all for it. But one of my friends who I've made in this discus journey, well, I'd sent, some of you might remember, I sent a couple of my best pairs off to a friend. And he's brought them back because their bond broke. They stopped trying to produce babies. So we're going to try and get them rebonded or repaired with other fish. But, he's my other German Stenker male. And then back there, you can't see her right now. She's a nice big female, same pattern. So they're back, they're home, they're getting used to the tank again. They showed up yesterday afternoon, and alongside them, look what we have. First off, as a show of appreciation, my good buddy, he didn't just give me a rock or a twig to put in my tank, right? Because I'm one of his groupies. No, he didn't do that. This guy, who enjoys watching my channel, who doesn't have a YouTube channel, so I'm not his groupie, you know what I'm saying? He's not mine either. This is just somebody who I've learned a lot from when it comes to discus. Okay, this is the first gift he brought me, a brand new Fluval inline UVC clarifier. This is going to go downstairs into the Oscar tank, or the Oscar setup, with all of the other minor UVs, including this one. That UV in the corner, I'm gonna rip that sucker right out of there. Gone. This tank's, you'll never see that in this tank again, unless maybe I need it for a temporary period of time because there was some kind of failure. But that UV unit in the corner, downstairs and into the other system, the other centralized system. This UV bulb that I've been running like this because I can't afford really to buy a good proper system. Yeah, that's coming out of there too. We're gonna rip that sucker right out. You wanna know why? They're gonna go. That one's gonna go on a shelf as a backup. Let me show you why. Oh! Before I show you the real reason, look at this, Jose. Does this look familiar to you? Does that look familiar to you? I believe You showed me one of these recently. The irony that this is also here, right? Okay, and then watch this. Ta-da! 54 watts, baby, and it's brand spanking new. This guy said, enough is enough. He made like he had this just laying around his house. I'm quite certain he didn't have this just laying around his house. But, you know, that's the... he downplayed it. I think he downplayed it. He's a really good dude. And he wants to see me succeed. He thinks I'm on the money with this UV stuff. And he knew I needed this. And he basically picked it up for me and brought it over to my house. That's what I think he did, but he told me he just had it laying around. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to believe this was just laying around. It's like someone took it out of the box and then it did not collect a speck of dust. You know? And shit like this, you know, he didn't know me from a hole in the wall before I started back into fish keeping. It just warms my heart right there. Thank you, sir. I just wanted to say that. I'm going to put this to good use. And it's going to help me make lots of discus babies. These guys are still here. They ate their eggs yesterday. These guys will hatch their eggs. So maybe another 24 or 36 hours. We should see wigglers on this comb. It was a really small batch. Oh, those eggs are all white, those ones. I saw dark ones. I think this might actually fail. It might be failing because I had to put tap water in. So it got a little hard. There's a couple of black dots. Ones. It's hard to see in this light. You're gonna get like 5 babies out of that batch. So how this will go, and I've seen this happen before, is they'll guard these 5 babies until she's got another batch of eggs ready in about 4 more, probably about 5 or 6 more days. And when she feels she's ready to lay, she'll eat her babies, lay her next batch. It'll be huge, and we'll get a good brood out of them. But they're just coming back in. The last time she went in the season, it was the same thing. A small batch first, just like I described. And then she moved on to a bigger batch about 6 days later. So these guys are in season. They're on their way, and they have produced live free-swimming babies for me that have lived up to a week. So in this environment, especially if I can get this thing in there real soon, and I'm going to, as you can see, I'm starting to work out how I'm going to do my tubing through the adapters. And I know it's going to sound the same, but I will silicone here to seal that. And I have this product called Alien Tape. I actually bought more, like I've had more than one box now. It's like 2-sided silicone in a tape form, and it's really sticky and it never lets go, and it's water resistant. So you just I silicone it, then I wrap it with this Alien Tape, which is like, you know, and then you just boom, 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 and then you just cover the Alien Tape with any other kind of tape just to keep it from drying out, because it's rubbery, and it will dry out if you let it. So, but as long as you cover it all up, it'll never dry out, and then you got an excellent bond, and you didn't have to, it'll never leak. And that's how I'm putting this together. It makes it a lot easier, because the adapters don't work. You can't just screw something in here. You can't just silicone that. The pressure is going to blow it off. But the Alien Tape will keep it there. It's not going to go anywhere. You know, so I got this one on this side. This is going into the sump. I've been butchering an old what do you call those again? The pythons there. I think they're absolutely useless pieces of crap. So Don't rely on a Python. Get yourself a pump and a hose, proper hose. It's much cheaper to buy a pump and a hose than a Python. And then your water changes are like literally 50 times faster. So anyway, useless pipeline becomes piping for my system. That'll go into the sump. I still have to cut off the adapter to make this one fit. And then I put this long tube up to the tank. And that's it. That's the system. It's going to work like a champ. I can't wait. I might not get it in today. I have to wait for silicone to dry. I won't go in today. I'm going to get the tubes measured out. I'm going to get everything in place so that I can quickly switch it out with this tube. I'm just going to rip that tube out. You can see I did the alien tape attach here. I do it everywhere. It's just far more effective. And it's very, very secure. The whole basement's been alien taped up now for a year. All the pipes in between that system, same thing. Great product, check it out. They didn't pay me. I buy it on my own. I'm just sharing it because it's a really good, it's fish safe, everything. Well, it doesn't advertise fish safe. I just took the plunge and found out. So it doesn't hurt my fish. But yep. Bit of a long video today. Not too bad though. But yeah. Look at that, buddy. I'm certain that's the one you showed me. So our friend Jose at Joy of Fish Keeping, he's going to have a video soon. I don't want to ruin it. But this is like he has this set up. I believe the same one. 54 watt. And he also has an old one of these. And I believe he was going to link his and use this as its pump. I'm just going to use my sump pump that's feeding that tank. I could just cut that cord and just do it like this, boom, boom. But I don't want to leave this tank uncirculated for too long. So, well, these, because it's the input for these tanks. So I'm going to use separate pipe, get it all ready to go, and then all I got to do is pull that head off, just unwrap the alien tape, pull that head off. That's all. I didn't even silicone that. It's just alien tape on that one. Pull that head off, bring it down here, alien tape it on, stick it in, pop that puppy in the sump, have a nice day. Plug it in, have a nice day. It's over. I'm going to have absolute, my water's going to be cleaner than it could ever possibly be. I mean, 13 watts of UV versus 54 watts of UV. Is it going to make a difference? It might not. It might not. I'm very interested to see what's going to happen, because that little $20 pond unit is strong as PHUK. And this thing might not change anything, to be honest. I'm going to find out. Hopefully it doesn't change things so drastically all my fish die. But I don't think that's going to happen. It's just the water column. So this is going to be a real clean water column. Pathogen-free water column. And that's going to lead to more egg and discus success. So, but yeah, I don't know. She didn't lay a big batch to begin with yesterday. Normally they lay 200-400 eggs. She probably laid 30. So, first round for the season. She's going to build up a big batch right now in her belly, and the next round will be decent size. I want to put these guys sort of back in the main tank, but I'm going to give them a little more of a timeout because they were high in the pecking order and they were being bullies because they're adolescents. Plus, I just put these two back in the tank last night, and they're a bit nervous still, so we don't want to put any bullies in with them. Good news is they're hanging out together, so they might repair. We'll see what happens with that. This pair and this pair are my oldest fish. They're the ones that are going to make us babies if anyone is. The rest of them are really just too young still. Like, these guys are not even a year old. And most of the rest of these are under a year old as well, like 10 months and stuff. So, I didn't buy all my fish at the same time. I bought one fish a month. Maybe didn't buy any fish a couple months, then ran out and bought two. And sometimes I skipped a month here and there, you know. I had to slowly build this up. We're knocking on the door. I can't wait. But there you go. Some of those upgrades I mentioned next will be coming down here to improve the quality for these guys as well. And where is our flower horn friend? Oh, there he is. There's been no problems. He thinks he's an Oscar. And there's been no fin damage on any other fish. This fish, that's from jumping out of the tank and hitting the bar, and it was there before the flower horn tried out. It's healing right now. They do that. They're just like Oscars being Oscars, but yeah, there's no flower horn damage on any of these fish. And he's waiting for breakfast like the rest of them. You see, Oscars get a bad rap, flower horns get a bad rap, and a lot of other fish get a bad rap. Sometimes it's just the fish has a psychological problem and it's a crazy fish. But if it's a calm fish like these are, I think when they go aggressive, it's because the water sucks and they're grumpy. But on with the next video. We're going to go upstairs with the discus. Well, they haven't been home 12 hours. They wouldn't breed over a buddy's house, but you put them back in a tank full of discus. And he's showing off for someone. I'm pretty sure it's his usual lady, Big Bertha. But he is definitely a happy boy. I'm not sure though. He might be showing off for another fish. We're going to see here. But it seems to me no one else is really paying attention to him, and she is. So they're still bonded. They just needed some. They needed a shoal. They needed other fish to start acting like fish again. And that's why you need more than 2 discus. There's something we just learned, you know. And I had to move them. The female started dancing back. Unfortunately, her fin spine stabbed through the net, and I had trouble getting her out of the net, but she submitted and let me do it. So if the hormones are strong, she'll get over it quick. I was careful not to hurt her, but yeah, one of her spines got that probably didn't tickle. So it's okay. It's going to take them another couple hours to get over me just moving them, but they were going to lay eggs in the main tank, so they're here now.